Welcome to today's webinar, Utilizing Technology to Engage Students, Part 1, presented by Dr. Rosa. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'll turn on the video just for the first couple of minutes. Welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Manuel Rosa. I work for Kaiser University. I'm a professor in the Graduate School of Education. We offer programs in Masters in Education and also PhD programs and a new Masters in School Counseling. So welcome to you all. My email's at the bottom. So if you want to right now, take a picture of it or write it down. So that way if you have any questions, you can feel free to just contact me at any point. So this is part 1 of part 2. Today we're going to talk about utilizing technology. And we're going to talk about this week we're going to do 2 technology software that you can use. And then next week we're going to do 2 more. So for those of you watching on record, part 1 is today, and then you'll be able to watch part 2. So we're going to talk about the benefits of using technology in the classroom. We're going to talk about Kahoot and Flipgrid and learn some basic functionalities. So you're not going to be able to learn everything, and I would need about 3 or 4 hours to be able to make you extremely familiar with these tools. This is just to give you some exposure. I'm sure many of you may be familiar, may not be familiar, or maybe you've always wanted to do something but never had the time. So at least this hour will block off time for you to create your account and learn a little bit about the features. And then hopefully you'll block off another hour on your calendar to actually do some more practice. I know we are all so busy that we want to do these things and we don't have time. So hopefully this will prompt you to do that. This is part 1. Part 2 will be next week, and we will do Nearpod and Quizlet. So by the end of this series, we'll have 4. And if you like these, we can continue to do more because there's a lot of other tools out there that we can use to help engage our students, especially for those of us who are still doing remote learning, or if you're doing in-person learning, or if you're doing a hybrid or a combination. These tools can help you with your students that are right there in front of you inside the classroom, and then also are remote. So just to give a little history, why do we do this? Why we do these types of workshops, and why it's important that we do these tools to make sure we cater to all types of diverse learners. And that's because we have seen a rise in 2018-19, the number of students ages 3 to 21 who receive special education services under the Individuals with Disabilities Act was 7.1 million, or 14% of all public school students. And among students receiving special education services, 33% have special learning disabilities. So these tools can help with these students and help them and help all students who are visual, who are audio, who are hands-on, who like to have fun. These different tools using technology in general can make great strides in helping to improve our graduation rates, our completion rates, and reduce our dropout rates. So that's why we're doing this today. So what are some benefits of using technology? If you're in the classroom and you're working with our students, middle school or high school students, then you probably already know these benefits. For number 1, it could distract from poor handwriting skills. So for students who have poor handwriting and they're able to use these types of technologies, they can present it in a fashion, especially when you look at Flipgrid. Flipgrid has the ability to read words out loud, which we'll go over. Increases students' independence. So when you're having your differentiated learning and you are catering to different students inside the classroom, you can give some students that are more comfortable with technology these resources, and they're pretty much can be self-sufficient and learn and use the technology on their own, while you may be giving more hands-on experience to other students. It also personalized the learning depending on the user and depending on the comfortability of the user. You're able to pick what levels or what types of activities you want to give these students. So that's definitely personalized. With peers, whether the peers are connecting inside the classroom, if they're doing group work, back in the day when you were able to do group work, or if they can also connect online through some of these tools, watching what they've submitted or not. Reduces anxiety. All of whether we want to admit it or not, our students are coming into our classrooms and all they know is technology because that's what they were born with. So having that comfort in using the technology helps to reduce anxiety, and it's easier communication because you are appealing to all the senses: audio, visual, and kinesthetic. So these are all the benefits of using technology in the classroom. Here's a quick slide that just tells you all the different ways you probably have already used technology in the classroom, by subject, different activities you may have used. So whether it's reading, writing, memory, listening, mathematics, trying to teach organization, building access, physical mobility, having social interactions, or even having athletic participation. All this could be used to help our students through technology and all the different technology that's out there. Whether it's light signals, touch screens, screen readers, screen magnifiers, having text to speech, wands and joysticks, alternative keyboards, voice recognition, braille embossers, these different ways is how technology is used in our classrooms. And even for physical mobility, ramps, openers, scooters, wheelchairs, automatic doors, adapted car seats. These are all the way, whether we realize it or not, consciously, that we are already using technology. And as you can imagine, the technology is only going to get better and be able to help students to be successful. So let's talk about our first tool that we're going to talk about, and that is Kahoot. So I use Kahoot quite frequently because I like to play games. And I probably deep down inside want to be a game show host. But Kahoot is a game-based platform used to review students' knowledge for formative assessments or as a break from traditional classroom activities. So think about Kahoot as a game show where you broadcast a question. Students had 4 choices, or you can do true, false. And then on their phones or on their computers, they get to select which choice they want. And if they get the right answer, there's all types of bells and whistles, and we'll probably go over some of that in a few. So I'm going to just go over some of the basics now of Kahoot, and then hopefully if we have time, show you a little bit about how it works. So the goal is to increase engagement, motivation, enjoyment, and concentration to improve learning performance and classroom dynamics. Over 6 million teachers and 800 million students over 200 countries use Kahoot. So there must be some benefit to using at least the free version of Kahoot to help our students. So why would you want to use Kahoot? Here are a couple of reasons listed for you to use Kahoot. Perhaps at the beginning of a session, just to have like a sort of like an icebreaker and have some fun. You can have Kahoot broadcasted on your computer screens, and either you can create one or you can sift through Kahoots that have already been created and just use that just informally. You can use it halfway through a session. Let's say that you're trying to engage the students, see what they've learned. You can use that halfway through to recap, and then once again, provide some differentiated learning for those that need a little bit more. Put them to the side and maybe give them some refreshers. To review old and new material, if you are going from week to week or lesson to lesson, and you want to gauge what they learned prior, what they remember, or if you want to get some type of pre-assessment to know what they know before you start the lesson, you can do that. That leads into the next one: obtain baselines on prior knowledge. Providing an interactive component. We all know that students want to be not just lectured to, but to have some type of engagement. So having that for our students. If you just want to start a discussion, perhaps you have 5 questions in your Kahoot. You do question 1 and then you lecture about it for like 10 or 15 minutes and then go on to question number 2. So it prompts a discussion between you and the students. Formative assessment, if you want to tally the results and use that to assign a grade, of what students have learned, you can definitely do that. Boost student excitement, just being in the game show environment. There are lots of studies about gaming and the impact and the positiveness that gaming has on our students and student learning, and especially students with disabilities, and getting them engaged and interactive. Encourage curiosity and involvement for a topic. Perhaps you use a Kahoot just to expose students to different ideas or topics that you want to cover or don't have time to cover or may cover in the future. This could at least get them exposed to that, and you can pique their level of interest. Identify knowledge gaps, those that when you do Kahoots, you'll have timing. You can time the questions, and students can have 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 30 seconds to answer the questions. So that can gauge how quickly or how familiar the students are with the knowledge, or if they just don't get the questions right at all. And of course, use the wrong answers as a teaching opportunity. So when you see the Kahoot, when you play a Kahoot, it tells you how many classmates, how many of the contestants got it right, how many got it wrong. And so you can determine whether it's maybe something that you're not conveying correctly through your lesson plan, or whether it's just an isolated incident of students not getting it. So as I stated before, there is the free version of Kahoot, and then there is the more advanced version. So the first two, so these are all the types of answers you can create when having a Kahoot. So for the free version, you can definitely have multiple choice and true false. So that just may be enough, and for the most part is enough for creating a Kahoot. So you put a question, what is my first name? And then you can either do a multiple choice, or you can do a true false. My first name is Manuel, and have students go from there. You can also do, for the more advanced features, you can ask open-ended questions where the players can type in the correct answer. They can have a puzzle where you can ask players to place the answers in the correct order. You can do a poll to collect player opinions. They used to have the poll in the free version, and now I believe they have that in the more advanced version. And more word cloud. So those are game related, the first ones. Now, and these on the bottom are non-game related. So you have the poll, you have the word cloud, where questions that collect free form answers. And then you have slides, which give players more context or additional explanation. So it's almost like using the Kahoot as an actual presentation. So like a PowerPoint presentation using Kahoot. So here are some options when you have the Kahoot. These are some options you're gonna have as a user. You're gonna have the time limit. So if you want 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, you can set up the questions for the timer. You can do the number of points awarded. So I believe you can do 500, 1,000 points. And then for the double bonus, or for those questions that are more intense, you can do 2,000 points. I usually do, if I do a Kahoot of 10 or 15 questions, I'll do the last 2 or 3 or 4 questions with double the points. So that way, those that didn't get right answers in the beginning don't give up and feel as if there's no way they can come back. So I do vary the question points. You can add media content. So if you want to add a picture or an image or a YouTube clip to support your question, you can do that. When you create your Kahoot, there's some descriptive information about the Kahoot. You'll be able to put the title. So you want to have a catchy title, because some of these Kahoots you can make public, which means anyone can look at them. You want to put the description, who the audience is. So if it's middle school, high school, adults, children, you can put who your intended audience is. Language, English, Spanish, you can put that in the Kahoot. You can add a cover image, and you can also add a link to a YouTube video. So those are all the options. If you don't have time, then merely you can just put a quick title and have your students play the Kahoot. So you do not have to do all this, but it may be helpful, especially if you're making it public, for other people to be able to search through the various descriptors. I encourage you to, when you're setting up your Kahoot, to print out this PowerPoint or replay this, because all of these will be on demand. These wonderful workshops are on demand. So you'll be able to play them and then maybe have it next to you, so that way you can actually be doing this stuff as we're talking. So also on the Kahoot and the sidebar, you have some options for the answers. You can, when you want to add, when you create a Kahoot, you want to add a question, you hit the plus sign. You can also rearrange the questions if you like. You can duplicate a question. Of course, you could delete a question. And then you'll see a little icon there that looks like books, and that'll allow you to say who should have access to create the content. So if you want your students to actually help creating the content, you can give them access if you want a fellow teacher. So those little icons match up with the Kahoot. So how to play Kahoot? I'm going to go over it, and then if there is time, which I think there is, I'm going to show you how to do it. But you want to launch Kahoot on a digital device. So if you want to do it from a computer screen, you can do that. If you want to launch a Kahoot, because it's just a website, you can display the computer screen in front of the classroom if you have a projector. So those in the classroom can see it. And if you're doing hybrid learning, then those that have a computer can see it as well if you're broadcasting to the screen in your classroom and into those at home. Also, there's a Kahoot app. So students can download the Kahoot app and they'll be able to do their choices. So if you do a question and it has 4 choices, when they look at the app on their telephone, they will see the different choices that they have. And the choices will be either a color or a shape. So keep that in mind. You can do player versus player, so you can have individual, or you can create teams and have team versus team or team versus player. You'll see lobby music, and you can turn that lobby music on or off. But students generally like the lobby music, and then they'll start singing it. And even if you just play the lobby music, they'll associate the music with the Kahoot, and they may get excited from that. You'll have a launch configuration, and with the launch configuration, you'll be able to enable or disable name generator. So students can select their names. So when I enter a Kahoot, I can enter my name. And if I wanted to, I can put my real name, or you can have students create a nickname. Be careful if students are not mature enough, maybe they'll select inappropriate nicknames. So you won't want to do that. You can randomize the order of the questions. You can randomize the order of the answers. So if you don't want the same A, B, C, D thing to occur all the time, you can do that. You can have 2 steps to join, just like if you have any Microsoft email and they text you a code. So you can do that, authentication. You can display your game pin throughout the game. So for those people who don't want to download the Kahoot app, when you create your Kahoot, you're going to get a game pin number. And in order for people to play the Kahoot, they have to enter that game pin number. So they can do that, and you can have the pin number throughout the game so that if someone shows up late, they could do that. You can show minimize intro instructions. You can automatically move through questions. So if there's a 30-second time limit, it'll wait for the 30 seconds to pop up. If not, you can, if you see that everyone's answered, if everyone answers the question within the time limit, then it automatically stops. But if it's 30 seconds and you see that 14 people are playing and 13 people answer, but the 14th person is not, but you know they just left the game, then you can hit next question. And you can reply, you can do multiple Kahoots, and you can require players to rejoin after each Kahoot. So how do people play the game? They join the game, they enter the game pin number. I'm quickly going through this because I'm just going to show it to you. Enter a nickname using a web browser. You'll see names and a counter showing the number of players. Teachers can kick out players for displaying inappropriate nicknames. A lobby tune will play during the lobby session, and then we can click the start button. So I am going to be brave, and well, let me go over this next slide. So there are 3 stages of the gameplay when you have a Kahoot. First, you see the questions displayed, and then you'll see the questions and the answers. You'll see the screen will show a countdown clock and the number of answers given. Music intensifies as the answering time comes to a close. The teacher can also end the answering time by clicking on the skip button. Second stage, the distribution of answers is displayed along with the correct answers. And then in the third stage, after the students answer or the players answer, you're going to see a scoreboard. and the scoreboard will present the top 5 players. Occasionally, the scoreboard will celebrate people who answer multiple correct answers or students make a comeback. During this stage, the individual student will see the score for the last question, the total score, the rank, how far behind they are from the players ahead, and the answer streak. And it's really cool on the app. They'll get some encouraging words like, you can do better, way to go, you're a superstar, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the game, you'll see all the players on a podium, and it'll give you the first, second, and third, and then it'll also pop up with fourth and fifth. Students can rate the quiz with 1 to 5 stars if they learn something, if they recommend it, or if they feel happy, indifferent, or sad. So you'll get immediate feedback if students enjoyed the Kahoot, if it was too difficult. So that'll also provide you with feedback on how your students are feeling about Kahoot in general and the specific Kahoot that you made. Some information about the Kahoot app. It's downloadable for iOS or Android devices. If you can now search for it in your phone and download it. The app enables students to create Kahoots, follow their progress, and make it possible to play Kahoot 24/7. So students can play asynchronously or against non-playable characters. Non-playable characters, so if you want students to practice, these are just artificial intelligence bots that students can play, and you could use that for homework so that students can practice beforehand. You may want to give students a Kahoot before a quiz or an exam, so that way that can get them to practice. The app motivates students through avatars and achievements, and some additional functionality. You can create challenges, share Kahoots, reporting. You can preview Kahoots, duplicate Kahoots made by others. You can collaborate with your team, and it also helps with team management. So let's get to Kahoot, and let's see what we're doing. And hopefully you will still see my screen. So I'm going to pop up with the Kahoot, not Flipgrid. We're going to go to Kahoot. So here is Kahoot. So when you go to kahoot.com, this is what you will see. You can click on the basic, and you could also do a pro version for $3 a month and a premium for $6 a month. I would recommend that you sit through this presentation. We're going to do Kahoot. We're going to go to Flipgrid, and then we're going to do Nearpod next week and Quizlet. And then you could decide out of all these if you wanted to invest in a more advanced version. So we're going to do continue for free here. And then you're going to see all the different activities you have at your fingertips. So let's say you'll get to see what's new. Here you'll have your username. If you look to the left of the screen, you'll see your username, your plan, and your interest. And then to the right, if you have already existing Kahoots, you'll see My Kahoots, and those are all the Kahoots I already have existing. So let's say we're going to start from scratch, and I'm going to hit create. So I'm going to hit create. That's at the top right version, top right hand, create. And here I have the option. I can look at, I can do it with slides, formative assessment. There are all these different templates, but I'm just going to hit create. And here you're going to see all the options that I recently talked about. So I can write a question. What day is it today? And then I have the option here. I'm going to click on time limit. And I'm going to, let's say I want students to do 30 seconds. So I'm going to click on 30 seconds. If I wanted to drag and drop an image from my computer, I would do that here. If I wanted to do points, I can go 0, 1,000, or 2,000. And then here I would add the answer. So what day is today? I can put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then very important that you select which answer is the correct answer. So the day today is Monday, if you're watching this live. So that's it. I have my day, my question, my time limit, and I want it points. I'm going to just say 1,000 points for now. And then I am going to make sure my Answer's correct. That's Monday. So this is an example of what probably would not be a good question if you're doing this multiple times, or if you're having the students do it whenever you want, because right now I program it that Monday would be the correct day. But if the students were doing this on a Tuesday, or they were practicing on their own, then this wouldn't be a good question because they would get it wrong when they may not have the answer. But just for today's purposes, we're going to do Monday. And I'm going to click here, add questions. So that question's done for today. The first question's done. So I'm going to add a question. And as you see here, I can do quiz or true or false. So I'm going to put true or false. Today is Tuesday. So true or false, since these are a little bit more quick thinking, I'm going to put this for 10 seconds. I'm going to put this at 2,000 points because I want this to be a rapid response. And then I'm going to make sure I select my answer. So today is Tuesday, for today is false. So I could do, if I wanted to, I can drag an image, upload the image, or do a YouTube link. But for the purposes of today, I'm just going to do 2 questions, and I'm going to click on done. When I click on done, it prompts me to create a title. So I'm going to put days of the week, and I'm going to write a description, test on the days of the week. And I'm going to hit continue. So here I am, it's validating the Kahoot. And then it gives me some options. I can test the Kahoot, I can play it now, or I can share with others. I always encourage you to test the Kahoot to make sure that you put the right answer in and make sure everything works. So we're going to go ahead and test the Kahoot so that you can see, and then you could also hear the music as well. So hopefully you'll be able to hear the music. So here I am, I'm testing the Kahoot. All of my Kahoots are here. I have one for Kaiser Trivia. I have one for Generation Z. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my 2-question Kahoot, days of the week, and I'm going to hit play. So if you're still seeing my screen, then here it is, Kahoot day of the week. I have the option of doing one-on-one, and I believe you can have up to 99 players. So keep that in consideration in case you have more than you want to do teams. Or I can do teams, I can pair students up into groups and have that. Some options I have, personalized learning. So if I want players to just practice, I can put that on. Friendly nickname generator, avoid inappropriate nicknames. So, you know, if you have a troublemaker in the class or someone that likes the class clown, which probably would be me, you may want to turn that feature on. And also you have the option to play lobby music. I'll put Halloween. You have reggae, beatbox, trance, Christmas. We'll put Halloween. Randomize the order of the questions if you wanted to, especially if the Kahoot, people have played the Kahoot before and you wanted to change it up, you maybe want to randomize the order of the questions or the answers. Show the instructions, 2 steps to join, automatically move through questions, and rejoin after every game. So those are all the features I talked about in the PowerPoint. So we're going to click on Classic. And then you should be, hopefully we will hear the Kahoot music. So there is the Kahoot music, the Halloween theme. And so you can broadcast this to your, and I'll, even though it's wonderful, I will adjust the volume here so you can hear me. So if you were joining live, I would tell you to log on to www.kahoot.it. If you have the app, you can come play along with me these 2 questions if you already used Kahoot before. So those are the ways students can join. So I would merely copy and paste this. And that could be a way anyone can join via the PIN number. So it all depends on how you are setting up your classroom. Once again, you can broadcast this onto your screen and the students right in front of you can play. And then anyone who goes to www.kahoot.it can just enter the PIN number and join. So we do have one Hoot. Thank you very much for joining me, Hoot. So Kay, so that means you do have, Kay Hoot, did you do that on purpose? Are you a team? So yeah, so that's how you would play the game. So you'll see, for those of you that are playing, you will see the questions come up next. So TS, well, I guess we do have some fun players. All right, I guess I'll give it another minute for those of you to, if you're using your computer for watch the presentation, then you can go to your phone and go to www.kahoot.it. So I will give it 30 more seconds for this game here. All right, so I'm going to press start. This was just practice for you to know. So I will press start. Days of the week. There's the countdown clock. What day is it today? So you'll notice the question, if you're looking at it from your computer, on your app, you'll just see the colors. So it'll be red triangle for Monday, blue for Tuesday, yellow Wednesday, Thursday. So important to note that, so this is good for students who are more comfortable with colors, or if they're more comfortable with shapes, then they have the option to view it either way. So all of you, the three of you got it right. So you see 3 on the red and no one got it wrong. So you see the leaderboard there next. I'm going to hit next, which is then going to show you, since you all got it right, it's going to show you who did it the fastest. So there is my leaderboard. I have TS in first, K second, and Hoot in third. So let's go to our final question. And notice that it didn't, the 30 seconds, I gave you 30 seconds, but it ended earlier because all of you answered the question. This is where, today is Tuesday. So press blue if it's true, press red if it's false. And the answer is false. So 3 of you got it correct. Way to go. If you look at your app, it should give you some type of positive encouragement. And let's see if what it does now. I'm going to put the volume up so we can hear the bells and whistles. So in third place, we have K. In second place, we have Hoot, which means in first place, we have TS. Way to go. So that's just a little preview of Kahoot. Now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. Hopefully you had a good time with that. I was just giving you some exposure to Kahoot. And I encourage you to, with all of these, I encourage you to make sure that you spend some time creating a Kahoot, going over the things I stated, so that way you get familiar with it, because if you learn it today and you don't actually put it to practice, then you may not remember it in the future. So you'll be able to print out the recording, and you'll also be able to watch the recording and print out the PowerPoint. So, and you also have my email if you have any questions. So that was Kahoot. That was our first technology. So hope you had a good time with the free version, and you could see how interactive and fun it would be and entertaining to students all around the board. Let me just see here, see if there's any questions I should be entertaining. All right, so yeah, the presentation link is there, excellent. So Flipgrid. So this is a little bit different. This relies on recording, and I do a lot of research on Generation Z, and those are anyone born after 2000 and our current generation of students, and they are all about recording videos. So you may think, oh, my students aren't going to want to do this, but you may be surprised by the amount of enthusiasm they have over this tool called Flipgrid. So a grid is where your students go to view your topics, record their responses, and reply to their classmates. These grids can be open or locked. So it's basically like a camera where students can record whatever you guide them to record. And it allows them to orally participate in a project. So for those students that are more verbally challenged, they can do it orally and record these videos. It's used by students in more than 180 countries. And you just need to go to the Florida Department of Education website because they have endorsed Flipgrid. So make sure you bookmark that website because it has a plethora of resources that are important for you to use. Flipgrid is 100% free for all educators, learners, and families. Engage and empower every voice in your classroom or at home by recording and sharing short, awesome videos together. So similar to Kahoot, I'm going to verbally talk about Flipgrid for those of you watching our recording. And then I am going to, if there is time permits, I'm going to show a quick demonstration. So I'm focusing more on the PowerPoint so that way you can print it out and have it near you when you're actually practicing. So that's why I'm choosing to do this model. But it's easy to sign up. You can embed grids or topics on any website or learning management system. Great for parent involvement and communication because you can have them involved in the videos and watching the videos or making the videos. It works for any and every subject. It gives shy students a voice. Students can access Flipgrid from anywhere through any device with an internet connection. Style to embody popular social media sites, Instagram, Facebook. People would think they're on that, which appeals. Snapchat. I should never have said Facebook because the younger generation does not believe in Facebook anymore. So Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok. Students will beg to make Flipgrids. It's a great tool to use for homework. Helps you build a classroom community. You can collaborate across the world, build student speaking and listening skills. And this is what is extremely important. Students, when you put text on the screen, students can play the text back in different languages at different rates, at different speeds. So it's awesome for students. App Smash, integrate various apps together to create a rich learning environment. Within Flipgrid, you can use Kahoot. So you can have students in a Flipgrid and all of a sudden put in a Kahoot. And you can use other teachers' Flipgrids where you can make a copy, edit the topic, and all the teachers' responses do not follow the topic. So you can make your own topic and give yourself your own new Flipgrid by importing existing Flipgrids, but then you don't see the responses from the others, you just get a clean slate for your own students. So more benefits of Flipgrid: it promotes metacognition, improves digital literacy skills for students. And I believe either this week or last week was digital literacy awareness. So we are right on the heels of that. Allows you to hear from every student. Just like Kahoot, you can do self-assessments and reflections. It motivates students to speak. So students may not realize that this is public speaking, that they're practicing for public speaking, even though there's not people in front of them. But just by doing these videos and getting up, enunciating and pronunciating their voice and getting creative, can help with their public speaking. Students can use closed captioning when viewing videos and then generate a full transcript. And then there's Microsoft's Immersive Reader, which is embedded in Flipgrid, which can be used with both the closed captioning and any text within a topic to read the text aloud and break up words into syllables for easier decoding. So some disadvantages, even though there are way more advantages, students can only reply in a comment section and the teacher has the upgraded version. But to get around that, you have students create another video response. But this free version has so many bells and whistles, you may not use the upgrade. Teachers can upgrade to use embedded rubrics, but they're very basic. Teachers only get on grid. Having multiple grids allow to organize topics more efficiently. Teachers could play around using the technology and possibly waste class time if the teacher does not pay close attention. So you want to introduce it and teach students how to do it. Students could possibly be inappropriate in videos. So you want to watch that and maybe have the option for you to view it before you post it. And then it could be overwhelming because there are so many possibilities with Flipgrid. So I would say just stick to one or two of the features, use that, master it, let your students master it before you move on to other things. But with the advanced, there's also some advanced features that students have been using Flipgrid even outside the classroom. Some students have been doing television reviews and movies and book reviews using Flipgrid. They can practice their world language skills because they can type in a word and they can use it and then have it translate. Invite outside speakers using the guest mode. So you're just not limited to those in your classroom. You can have students build portfolios. So either through a semester or through a year or throughout their entire time at a school, they can have Flipgrid portfolios that they can use. You can add annotations, little notes You can even do a yearbook, which actually may be a wise thing during these COVID times, to create a video yearbook using something like Flipgrid. The peers can share, and also the absent students. This gives them the opportunity to catch up with work by going back in and using Flipgrid. So getting started with Flipgrid. So I am going to do the opposite this time. I'm going to show you Flipgrid, and then I'm going to come back here to the PowerPoint and then review it. So we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. So let me go to Flipgrid. I'm going to exit out of this PowerPoint, using technology, hoping it works. Okay, here we go. We are in Kahoot, but now we're going to Flipgrid. So here I am in Flipgrid. You go to flipgrid.com. Now, for some of you in Microsoft, if you have your school email may already have Flipgrid. So for example, for a lot of schools that have Microsoft, when you go into the app section, the Flipgrid app is already there. So you click on Flipgrid, and then you can just log in with your Microsoft account. So check with your school to see if they already have Flipgrid, especially since the state of Florida supports Flipgrid. So these are your different options. Immediately I want to bring your attention to the right, which is the help section. When you press help, it is very robust. You can look for topics, themes. So if I put Halloween, oh, I guess it's not that robust. I have no results for Halloween. Add a topic. So you'll see all these different things about adding a topic. So when in doubt, get very familiar with this help section, which is in the top portion to your right hand. You have discussion. All right, so let's say you have two options here. You can create a topic or a group. So you want to create a group. Let's say it's your period 6 science class, or your or anatomy and physiology. So you can do it very specific, which is by groups, or you can do it as by like subject, or you can do very specific to your class. So we're not going to create a group now, but I'm just going to show you when you click on create a group, you can make it private or public. You'll put the group name. So, lesson plan, anatomy. It gets me a code, so I have a code. So you'll give all your students the code to join. And then you could either add student emails or student usernames. Let's say I click on student emails. So it's when you do student emails, let's say all your students have the same email. So you could just do at Kaiser University.edu, and then that's it. Once you enter to add the email domain, then anyone with a kaiseruniversity.edu will be able to join just by using their first. So my email is mrosa@kaiseruniversity.edu. I would just put mrosa. So especially if you're a Microsoft or Google school, then it's going to make that much easier for you. You can also upload usernames. And if you want to invite a guest, that's where you'd use the feature here. But we're not going to create anything yet, so I'm going to hit back. And it's, once again, private or public. But I'm going to exit out of here because we're not going to create a group, but we are going to create a topic. So I'm going to click on topic. And I'm going to click on add a topic. I'm going to get started. So here's my title. So here I am. I'm going to collect a topic. So I'm going to click a topic called United Nations speech. I'm going to ask my students to do a speech for the United Nations. And so I have here United Nations speech. Submit a speech nominating someone who is worthy of recognition for their diversity efforts. So you want to make it descriptive so that your students know exactly what they are doing. All right, so I'm doing a United Nations speech, and I'm going to want you to submit a speech nominating someone who's worthy of recognition by the United Nations for their diversity efforts. And if you want to go ahead afterwards and practice and actually do this, more power to you. I will respond to you and tell you how the speech is, or just that you were able to use it and it went through. So my recording time by default is 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you want to do it longer, I'm going to put 5 minutes just in case some students are running longer. I'll actually put, 5 minutes. And closed captions, as you can see, you have all these different options for closed captioning. I am just going to keep English for my closed captions. Topic moderation, new videos and comments will be hidden from students until you activate them. So if you don't click on this button, students will automatically, every time they hit enter, it'll automatically post. But if you want to screen it before or control what goes on by filtering and reviewing, then you can put this here where it goes to you first, and then you review it, and then you will post it. So you may want to do that in the beginning to make sure your students aren't abusing or doing anything inappropriate. I'm going to put it off for now because I want you to do it at some point. So I'm putting it off so that you can do it. And here you can add, record a video, upload a video. Here's Kahoot. Here's Nearpod, which you're going to learn about next week. So all these features nicely go. I'm going to add an emoji. So I'm going to add this emoji to it to make it look nice. And there we have it. So I added the emoji. So here I have my United Nations speech. I'm submitting a speech, 5-minute recording time, and I added an emoji. I am going to make it private. Well, I'm going to make it public so that way you can do it if you want to. And then I am going to click on, so there's more options here. If I wanted more options, I can attach external links. If I want to do like a OneNote drive or Google Doc, I can do that. I can click on the status. I want this active. I can do it frozen or hidden if I wanted to. So if I didn't want anyone to search it in public, I can put hidden. Frozen if I didn't want anyone to do anything with it. I can schedule a date. So I'm going to have this active right now, but if I wanted to do a limited time or date, I could do that. I'm going to do notifications if I wanted to. Every time someone submits, I can do that. Have the ability to download and share. And there's also the different types of editing that you can do with the videos. If I want them to do selfies, if I want them to add text. So here I am. I'm just going to click on create topic. So I create a topic. Here it is. If you want to take a picture of it on your phone, or someone, I don't know if you have the capability to copy and paste this into the chat, 194DDCD1. If you're watching this on record, I'll leave it open, and then you can put that in the chat, and you can participate and submit a Flipgrid at any time if you want to practice doing it. So that's flipgrid.com/194DDCD1. And if I wanted to invite people from Teams, if you have Microsoft Teams, I could just do that. I can embed the codes. I could just copy and paste, share a QR code, share to Google Classroom, or share and remind. So these are all the different ways I can get people to participate in this activity. So I'm going to click on all set. So I am all set. And I shared, here are my different actions. So now I'm going to, let's see if I can record a response. So I am going to click on actions, record a response, just so you can see what that looks like. So here I am. Hopefully you can see this, because we are doing intense technology here, sharing a screen and sharing a screen again. So here are the options I have if I wanted to record. You see here, I can show topic. So here I am. If you record, you won't see this. That's only to me. So I can put that to the side. And I could also add notes here. Talk about Martin Luther King. So I can put this note here on the side, which will help me guide. This will not show up in the recording. Some other options I have here, I can upload a clip. So if I wanted to drop a video, I can do that. I can mirror the video. So if I wanted to talk to myself, it shows me in different directions. I could do that if I wanted to mute or if I wanted to record screen. Also the effects. Now this is where students really have a good time. So with filters, I can put rainbow. If students are shy and they don't want their picture, they can do this bricks, which is pixelated, so you can't see anything. And then I can also do this creative background if I wanted to. That's filters, frames. So let me pick a filter here. I'll pick that filter. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna pick a frame. I have all these frames here. I'm gonna do this flowers frame. I'm gonna do an emoji. So I can do people, emoji, accessories. So if I want glasses, I can put the glasses on me for my emojis. You scroll down all different types of emojis. If I wanted to write text, I can write text, superpower. As you can see, this can be very overwhelming, so you probably don't want to do all this stuff, but there will be students that want to do everything. Draw, I can upload a photo, whatever I want. But here I am, I'm just going to do this for now, and then I'm going to hit record. It sees the countdown. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our United Nations speech. I want you in 3 to 5 minutes to pretend that you're in the United Nations, you're in front of the United Nations, and you're going to nominate someone who you believe is worthy of recognition for their efforts in diversity and inclusion. Get creative, be responsible, and enjoy the assignment. So that's it. There is my video. I have recorded it. I believe I recorded it. I have my notes coming up. I'll hit next. It sees the countdown. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our United. So here's edit. I can edit. If I want just like the first half, because I felt like the second half wasn't nice, I can stop here and I could re-record the second half. So there are different things you could do with the recording. United Nations speech. I want you in 3 to 5 minutes to pretend that you're in. So for the interest of time, we'll stop here. I'll put next. So here I am. You can go to any frame. So this is what they're introducing me as. But if I don't want that to be my cover photo, I can select a frame and I can put some other time in. So let's say I wanted this to be my cover photo. Here, yeah, that's better. Boom, that's my cover photo. Or I could take a selfie and I could upload the photo. So here I'll display the name Manny R. I could put a link, I could pick a title. I click submit. And boom, there's the video. So I know we have 5 minutes. That's the example. Very important, immersive reader. Click on immersive reader. And you get all the options for text preferences. So you can change the effects, change the color to help students visually. You can do grammar options. You can have it pronounce nouns, put purple for nouns, red for verbs. You can have it announce the syllables. And you can do pictures. So like say, for example, United, I can click on United and put that instead of the word United and do all these different things for people. So when you play it, you could also change the language and it has all the different languages you can change it. I can do it as double speed or I can slow it down and I can even have a different voice. So I selected all those options. So let me hit play.
United Nations for their diversity efforts. Submit a speech nominating someone who is worthy of recognition by the United Nations for their diversity efforts.
So as you can see, that is excellent to cater to all different types of students who allows, and you can pick different languages and such. So there's so many different tools you can play with. I'm going to skip to the end of the PowerPoint right now. Hold on one second. So I did that for you so you can see it hands-on. download the PowerPoint. It tells you step-by-step what I just did. You'll see it step-by-step, getting started with Flipgrid. For middle school, you can do daily reflections, reading and book talk, STEM thinking. High school, daily journals, project presentations. Here's remote learning with Flipgrid, all different ideas, different activities you can do for elementary, middle school, high school, post-secondary, and coaching. CPOMS, if you need additional resources, CPOMS also is an excellent website and tool. They also endorse Flipgrid and show you some stuff. So it provides overview best practices for integrating technology in classrooms. I highly encourage you to download this self-paced training to get more about technology in the classroom. So that is it. Once again, I went through the last couple of PowerPoint slides. I showed it to you rather than doing it verbally.